Francine was getting involved with a storytelling project with a school in Indonesia, and we decided to join in with that over Edmodo. And the original idea was that the kids would make a story collaboratively with the students at school in Indonesia. So we set that up, and then I set up a storytelling project just for our class. We made it as a kind of fractured fairy tales thing. So the kids had to read different fairy tales and then redevelop the story, I guess, to be set at Beverly Hills IEC. Well, we started the project with The Emperor's New Clothes, and we worked in a group, a whole class group, which had read the story together, and then we reimagined it. So we changed the setting and the characters, and we made, you know, the complication something relevant to the school as a group. I had Francine and two prac students helping me, so we split the class into 4 groups, and each group got a different fairy tale. We did Hansel and Gretel, Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, and Jack and the Beanstalk, and they had a simplified version of the story. They had to read it and identify the narrative elements and then change them. And then each student had to go and write the story on their own piece of paper as a fractured fairy tale. The next lesson they typed them up, and then they shared them with the Indonesian students over Edmodo, which was really good because then they could get some feedback on their story. And then the whole class voted on which one we liked the best, which turned out to be a reimagining of The Emperor's New Clothes, but instead of invisible clothes, the Emperor, Mr. Hami, had invisible teacups. So then we made a film about the 2 fine cups. And to do that, we started by writing a script, which we did collaboratively, and then we went through and we did some work on stage directions, and it was a good chance to look at adverbs in the script, and then we learnt about camera shots. And then everybody had a job. So there were 2 people in charge of filming, 2 people in charge of directing, 2 for costumes, 2 for props, and a couple of other things going on. So it took us about 2 weeks to film the movie. But in the end, I think all the kids really enjoyed it, and it was a bit of a laugh for all of us. And I think the story really, I mean, it's completely different to the original, but it does ring true as a fractured fairy tale. Unfortunately, we missed the deadline for the Indonesian storytelling project, but we still posted it up on the Edmodo group, and some of the Indonesian students and the teachers commented on how good it was and how enjoyable it was. I think it was quite contextual in the sense that students who don't know BHIEC may not be able to get some of the jokes and the you know, sort of more contextual elements, but we showed it at the junior and senior assembly and put it on the Facebook page, and we got some very positive responses from that, especially from Mr. Hami. One of my main goals for making the film and the whole project overall was to get the students to work more collaboratively as a whole group, not just in one small group, but, you know, as a whole, and to, you know, take responsibility for something as a class, which a lot of the kids really excelled in, especially, you know, the people who were filming and people directing and the actors and everything. And it was a really good chance to see them helping each other out in that sort of sense. The other thing that they got out of it was a fair amount of visual literacy and how to understand narratives in different formats, because we had the originals and then we reimagined them, we wrote them, we did a script, we added detail to the script, and we acted it. We had to divide it into scenes, and we had to think about what shots we were going to use and camera angles and props and music, and they sort of got the idea that you could transfer a written text into a film, and that whole process. They really had to think about the best way to show certain elements of the narrative in different ways, so it was useful. And I saw, we did this in level 2, and then when we got to level 3 I saw that they still had a lot of that knowledge, especially about camera angles and some shots and things.
Hello, Mr. Hami. Do you like tea? You like tea? I have something special for you. Look at this magical cup. Only the owner can see them. Very nice. Love.
Thomas told me this only smart people can say this cup. So I must be the smartest person in this school. Anyone else is stupid. I said stop talking. I have visitors. Oh, lovely. Here you go.
Oh my god! Ah! What are you doing?
Aren't they great? Aren't they great?
One of the really good things about doing this project was that I did it with 2 prac students from the University of Sydney, and I think they got a lot out of it, seeing the class in a different learning situation and knowing how TESOL teaching, the TESOL teaching techniques that they were learning at uni could actually be, extended a bit. So I think for me, I really enjoyed working on something with my class that was ours and something that we could show to the rest of the school as something that we had achieved. And it was a really, really great project, and I'll definitely do it again with another class.